Hello and welcome to Life Writing with CJ. Joining me in observance of National Black Business and Wellness Month is Krystle, the owner of FitnessFabulous. How's it going, Krystle?
Going well. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Good, I'm great. Yeah, thanks for participating. So let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Okay.
How did you get started in the world of fitness and nutrition?
So I actually was an athlete in high school. And for me, it was really about the time thereafter when I was no longer having sports practices and being as active. And I started to realize that I was pretty much like out of shape and not as conditioned anymore. And I can remember a more specific time of being, young and not feeling so great about like something as simple as going up a few flights of stairs and being out of breath. And I said, that
Uh-huh.
that's not okay. That is not okay. I shouldn't be, you know, this shouldn't be a problem for me. So what I just started to do was I challenged myself to run a 5K, and I
Okay.
trained that with some friends. And then thereafter, I really just was consistent with the training I had implemented to get ready for the 5K. I just kept doing it even after the 5K.
Okay. Now that's discipline. What do you do? What did you do? What do you still do to stay motivated?
So I love this question because a lot of people find, you know, they think that motivation is something that is going to be the main driving force for you getting up and doing what you're supposed to do when it comes to a goal you've set, whether, it's losing weight, things like that. For me personally, I have found that it's better to focus on discipline and using that rather than trying to find motivation all the time, because there's just going to be a lot of times where you're not going to find it. So for me personally, I like to just use that discipline factor to know that
Hmm.
I have to do these things in order to get to my goal, even when I don't want to. So it's that concept of showing up even when you really don't want to. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's just I'd be lying to you if I said, oh, I just wake up every day and I'm and everything's just so perfect, because I love working out, because I love fitness, because I'm already a personal trainer. So everything's just great.
Right.
That's completely and utterly false. Um, not motivated to brush your teeth. You do it because you're supposed to do it. It's part of
Right.
and at this point in time, you're beyond the point where your parents are forcing you to do it, right? So if it's something that your parents or somebody forced you to do, think about it this way: you didn't get up one day and decide, like, I want to start brushing my teeth. That was implemented to you, and now you're disciplined enough to know that that's part of your routine. You're just supposed to do it. Even if it's not enjoyable, you're not like so. The same thing with working out. Fitness, there are plenty of workouts, plenty of things, plenty of sessions about, where I feel about, oh, don't really feel like being here, but I know I have to get the work done because I want to keep going. I want to continue on with my health, journey and goals and stuff like that.
Right. Wow. Hey, look, sound just like a fitness trainer and instructor and all of that. Your business, Fitness Fabulous. Um, I watch your videos. Of course, I've been following you on Instagram for quite some time,
Yeah.
and they are motivational. They are. They have been, and I be it watching your videos, other fitness trainers, instructors, what have you, is all motivational and just add a little push, that little extra push that we need. Along those lines, though, how do you differentiate yourself from everybody else? What makes fitness fabulous?
Okay, great question. Well, it's in the name, of course. I think for me, Fitness Fabulous was more about um, being multifaceted in a lifestyle that is, presumably about fitness, about wellness, about health, and all that. And then the fabulous portion is just about like being who you are, embracing it, liking yourself and where you're at right now. And this will probably be touched on in, but also just the simple fact of really enjoying where you're at now and utilizing that to motivate you or get you disciplined, because a lot of people want to punish their body by putting it through a workout, and I want them to see that it can be an enjoyable thing. um
Right. Good point.
be fabulous with it, meaning bringing your own style into it, something that works for you. um Fitness is not like a one-sided journey. It's not a linear thing. Some people are going to gravitate towards certain things more than the other, and that's really what that's about. So like the fabulous thing is just, it's something that's fun and just kind of fitting to me, and I know a lot of others can relate to that too. I want to lift weights and I want to throw around things and feel strong and empowered, but the fabulous side is also me, that I want to wear the nice dress, or I want to, I want to also have that side of things too. So it's about being multifaceted.
That's a really cool spin on it. Anything else you want to share about just your core business in itself, how you facilitate things, conduct things, anything along those lines?
Sure. I mean, just to expound on what I was referring to, like, I personally view health and wellness and fitness as more of a privilege than a punishment. A lot of
Mhm.
times people want to say things like they might see me opting for a banana, or something that's deemed healthy, right? That term is so loosely thrown around as something that's like deemed healthy, and they'll look at something else that's not so healthy and say, "Oh, come on, like live a little," right? And that phrase, it always makes me kind of cringe a little bit, because I'm just like, if I'm choosing something that's healthy, aren't I living a lot already? Like, it's like live a little is exactly that. If I want to keep making that particular choice of a cupcake versus a banana, I am exactly living a little, right? I would rather live a lot. I'd rather be rejuvenated. I mean, if you, in retrospect, right? And
Absolutely.
not to sound cheeky, but it's just like, live a little. I'm like, no thanks, and but on the flip side, though, not one to demonize foods. I'm not one to say that you can't ever have this or that. It's all about balance. So if I am opting for that, that's something that's in my head about what my goals are. Do I
Mm,
have cupcakes? Absolutely. I've actually relinquished myself from that, the crutches of like, oh, or clutches, I mean, of you must eat this way and then you can have like a little cheat meal. I don't
right.
really, I kind of eat intuitively based on what my goals are. If it's Tuesday and I want to have a cupcake, I'll eat it. It's fine. It's not going to deter me. One salad won't make you skinny, and one cupcake makes you fat. We've heard those. We've heard that,
Right.
right?
Right.
So my business more so just talks about that in a way to balance your life too. You can have these goals and you should work accordingly to them, whether that's whatever you're drinking and eating is going towards your whatever your goal is. But also you shouldn't be so one-sided about, okay, bananas are good, cupcakes are bad. There aren't really foods that are inherently bad. It's all about the decisions you're making day to day and being balanced. I think a lot of times we don't have that balance. Um, and you'll get there. That's just how it
Right.
works. So again, it's about privilege over punishment.
Hmm.
Movement is such a privilege for us. There's going to be times where you are not able to move as much as you want, or something like that can be taken from you.
Yeah.
um
Good
so
point.
wouldn't you want to experience all you can while you are waking up every day able to do it? You can wake up tomorrow and not be able to do those things, and you could take things for granted. And to put things on a scale, I look at people who are athletes. Let's take one of the greatest athletes, arguably maybe in the world right now, like Simone Biles. If she can defy gravity and throw herself around in the air and make all these different turns while still in the air before she lands, I can't run a mile. It's like everybody can look at her and be like, wow, 10 out of 10, look at how she's doing. Meanwhile, if you're at 0 and then she's 10, okay, that's fine. She's trained her whole life since she could walk. But like, can't you maybe be at 1 or 2, like, and do things that are challenging your body? She's challenging her body. She's running and competing, and she's on an extreme level. I get that, but I'm just saying, in relation, we have 2 legs like her. We have 2 arms like her. If we can move, move.
your clients. You inspire them. What do clients mostly come to you via Fitness Fabulous for?
Well, I do get a lot of clients that are looking to train in such a way that's effective for their goals, safely. A lot of times it's about knowledge.
Mm,
Unfortunately, we don't get a lot of physiology in school or in whatever type of training we might systematically go through. It has to be more niche. So if you've learned anything about how to train properly, about how the body mechanics might work in certain ways, um, it's because of a niche, because maybe you were in a sport when you were younger, or you were in a whatever the case may be, a dance class, and you know certain things. But if you weren't that, which is a lot of people, they don't know left from right when it comes to being inside of a gym, or if they're even just working out at home, or what what to do. So basically, like most instructors or trainers or coaches, people come to me for a more streamlined process that makes sense, that's going to be a what can I do specifically, because they don't know what to do. And they also come for effectiveness. Like, I also don't want to waste my time while I'm in the gym. So, like, what's effective for my goals? I want to get stronger. What should I do? I want this, but I don't want that. That's a lot of my clients too. It's like I do have predominantly women. I have a lot of male clients too, but women might say, "Hey, I would love to be strong, but I'm not also having looking to have, like the rock biceps." And it's like, well, I can show you how that works, because it's a lot of times you're misled on how things really are going to work.
if you were in charge of the world of fitness, nutrition, right? The entire thing, right? For say, I don't know, a week. If you were in charge via Fitness Fabulous, what would that look like? What would you do?
Oh my gosh, if I was the fitness puppeteer, the
Yeah, I
fitness
like that. Fitness puppeteer. Yes.
if I could really pull the strings, I honestly would love, 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 love. I mean, just go. I would give my right arm for the media to be more involved in
Mm,
promoting fitness. I feel like the healthcare industry, and I'm not going to go off on too much of a tangent, because we both know that's a sore spot for for most Americans in this country, most people in this country. Um, the healthcare industry is more of a sickness care industry, and it's not based on uh, prevention. It's based on treatment. So med school, it's called med school. It's not called health school. They're in there for what, 9, 10, 12 some odd years. Doctors, all respect to them. And what do they learn? How to treat things. They never learn how to prove. I don't know what they learn. I'm not in there, but it's not really geared towards how to have a body and keep it health and make it healthy and be healthy. It's about, okay, your patient has X, give them X. That's it. And it's like, okay, well, how do we just not even get there? But
mm,
that's really, you know what I mean? And I understand things, genetic things that happen. Of course, you can't like prevent all and everything. I'm not saying that,
right.
but that's
Right.
really, can agree that it's really sickness care. It's not about health care. It's about just trying to make you better from whatever. And I really, this really touched my heart during COVID, when all the
Uh-huh.
media preaching about how, uh, you know, detrimental COVID was, like how much of a threat COVID was. That's the word I was looking for. How much of a threat COVID was at the
Mhm.
time. And whatever you believe or don't believe about the illness itself, and the as I like to call them, they can't decide commission, the CDC.
Oh, oh.
I call them the can't decide center, whatever you want to call them. One day something is no risk, the next day it's high risk and stay in the house. But anyways, if we could get some coalition, if I was the queen for the week, I would really just drive home the importance of movement, like I was telling you about,
Right.
of making the right choices and being hydrated when you're consuming things, um, moderation, and the importance of having and building lean muscle mass, and how it's so important for all ages, especially when you're getting older and you're faced with things like osteoporosis and other, degenerative like things that happen to you when you're just because of your being up in age. I would love to see a world where personal trainers and coaches like myself are
Hmm.
paid by insurance companies so that people can explore this option of getting the proper training and doing things effectively without it seeming like some luxury item. I'm a luxury, right? Technically speaking, I'm that luxury service that if anybody
Yes.
ever in any financial strain of any kind, which is a lot of people these days, I'm the first to go, right? Personal training, coaching, things like that. And I understand that it's been part of my life, but I would love for it to be more um available and
Yeah.
accessible.
Yep.
Like, hey, I need help getting healthy. The money
Um,
that pharmacies make off of insurance companies,
yeah,
can't it be gyms too?
guys, Instagram, FitnessFabulous underscore. No, this has been a wealth of information, and I will share with you what folks say,
Okay.
ask about, inquire, but go to her
Yeah.
IG, Instagram, FitnessFabulous underscore. That's
Yes.
not an accident there. It is underscore. But Krystle, thanks so much for joining me.
Of course. Anytime. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
And I was about to touch on that too. I may need to bring you back. We gotta roll something else into this. And to the audience, thanks for your continued support of Life Writing with CJ, where information is shared in hopes to help you live the life you desire. Take care.